says we don't take people that are dangerous. Everybody that's brought there is potentially dangerous. It's just law enforcement officers are so good at de-escalation, and our staff, we don't turn hardly anybody away. But we don't want to duplicate services either. So the public hospital has a secure unit that they train psychiatrists because they have a relationship with the med school. So if you're knocking down walls, then you probably go, we'll triage you to that facility. But 99.9% of the folks that law enforcement engage, come to the restoration center. Then the medically stuff, we take, so if you have a mental illness, in the severe mental illness in the United States, you die 25 years sooner than the general population. You're self-medicating with alcohol and drugs. We know what that does to your body. People with mental illness smoke way over half the cigarettes that are smoked in the United States. Their illness is so debilitating. They're not working, so they don't have health insurance. They never see a doctor. They don't get primary care. They don't get medication. No disease management. And they all have medical problems. And the reason we brought that up in the film is because we were so convenient. Some officers were dropping people off with ingested stuff. So we have medical services, but we can't pump your stomach. So, if you swallowed something that maybe drugs or something, you could die. So we want those people. Call us, and you want those people to go to the emergency rooms. It says we don't take children. That's because we developed one of the first curriculums in the United States for resource officers for school police. And we have another facility for kids, like the one you just saw. And we also have respite care there. We got licensed as a child placing agency. So we do our own therapeutic foster families. We pay these foster families more than Child Protective Services pay because we want people that are really dedicated. But what we really want is families that are willing to accept our training. So we give them lots of training on behavior shaping. If you ever watch the Super Nanny on TV or whatever, we make the Super Nannies out of these folks. I mean, they're really skilled in therapeutic interventions with these kids. But we don't want to institutionalize kids in our system either, so we're pushing CPS to place these kids back with aunts or uncles or parents or even a natural family if we can get them help and get them stabilized, so we can give those folks the same kind of training and the same kind of respite care and the same kinds of supports. So I know I don't have a lot of time, but I want to reinforce everything the judge says, and I admire him greatly. He and I first met when the Mentally Ill Offenders Act went before Congress, and he and I testified, and by the way, it passed. And I was just so awed about the judge and his presentation and his command of this issue. He's a rare person. So the Rehnquist Award is actually awarded by the Supreme Court. So he was named as a top jurist in the United States. So big deal for a liberal from Miami. A very big deal.
Give away my secrets.
Yeah.
We're nonpartisan.
Yeah, right, we are. And that's what the reason he was recognized, for his extreme impact and his advocacy at the not only state level but the national level. So, but I like to tell people I can prove that treatment works. And everybody said, no, you can't. We do social work, psychiatry, and medication, and how it does through the Texas criminal justice system. And so I won't go through the whole story, but there was a federal judge, William A. Justice, in a class action lawsuit against our prison systems in Texas. And our prison systems at the time were like most prison systems in the South. They were almost a profit center for the state. We forced everybody to work. They made all their own clothing and grew all their own food. Repaired school buses, made furniture, stamped out license tags. Practically had no staff. We used what was called a building tender. So some subordinate would pick the biggest, meanest SOB in the cell block and put them in charge, and they were, to keep the peace. And if they did, they made the subordinate happy, then they got good time or special consideration. The problem with that is how they kept the peace was through violence and intimidation. So there were a lot of wrongful deaths and lots of fodder for this federal judge. And they practically had no medical services. So if you were dying of lung cancer in a Texas prison at the time, there's no opiates. You weren't going to get any painkillers. I mean, it didn't happen. So anyway, to make a long story short, the state finally agreed to build a whole bunch of new 1,200-bed prisons, and I'm talking about a bunch of them, staff them with professional staff, and have medical services. In Texas, being Texas, we decided we're a law and order state, so we built a couple extra 1,200-bed prisons because we wanted to cuff and stuff more people, and because we're a law and order state, right? Well, the problem with that is the bill came home And Texas is very conservative. We don't raise taxes, but we're talking about billions of dollars worth of costs for these facilities and operational costs. And so the legislature knows this federal judge is still looking over their shoulder and does not want to build any more facilities. So I had this researcher, Dr. Tony Fabello, and they asked him, Dr. Fabello, tell us why our extra capacity is being used up so fast. So he and his staff went and looked at the prison population and published a report for which our governor promptly fired him for, because basically the report said, we're stupid. In Texas, we got a whole bunch of people in prison who shouldn't be there. They're taking up space for violent offenders. And he did the report so smart because he did it like a coloring book. Yeah, so paid by the numbers, so everybody could understand it. No matter
Even a politician.
yeah, even a politician. So what he did, he explained, these nonviolent mentally ill offenders, it's hard for them to obey rules in the prison system, just like it's hard for them to obey rules in jail. So they're agitating other prisoners, they're acting out, they're not obeying the rules, so they're in isolation or suicide watch or something. So it costs a lot more than the general population. They never get any good time, so they spend their whole sentence. And isolation, or if they go to the medical unit, they cost 4, 5, 6 times more. So what Tony did is he had the numbers there. So here's what it costs for a violent offender who gets good time. This is what it costs for a non-violent mentally ill offender in the prison system. And oh, by the way, these people are taking up space for violent offenders, causing you to maybe have to build more prisons. And so, everybody got it. And one of the things that Tony recommended that the legislature did, even though the governor fired him, was he recommended that the Texas Department of Criminal Justice develop a whole new system, and it's called the Texas Commission on Offenders with Medical and Mental Impairments. So those staff, when it first started, they would go through the prison system, find these nonviolent mentally ill offenders, put them on parole. The condition of their parole is, and they contract with me to deliver the treatments, not the mental health system in Texas, but the criminal justice system. So, condition of their parole, they've got to see my psychiatrist, take their medications that are alcohol and drug screen disorder, because most of them are self-medicating, as you know, and generally stay in compliance with treatment. Well, revocation rates with felons, 3 to 5 years, I guess it's still, the last time I looked, it's like from 40 to 60%, right? They get arrested and go back to, and if you have a mental illness, it's a little bit higher. Guess what it is in Bexar County we get treated? 6.6%. That's not my number. Criminal justice system publishes that number. That 6.6% that they get revocated, a lot of those people, we round them back up, get them in front of the treatment, get them back in front of their parole officer. So now, they don't even put them in prison. Once they get convicted, they step them right out of jail, put them on parole, and send them straight to us. So treatment works if you can get people to treatment. As you know, well, these people are treatment resistant, and plus they're addicted, and they don't want to be someplace. So that's the reason that the therapeutic justice, works so well. The veterans courts, the drug courts, the mental health courts, the children's courts about parents getting, treatments so they get their kids back. So we provide the basic, what I think is the active agreement ingredient in that relationship with the judiciary, and that's the treatment part of it. So we've got a lot of studies and a lot of outcomes. There's effectively not as many, we didn't close down the jail, but there are effectively 2,000 more empty beds in our jail than would have been, and we've got the data to prove it. What's happened in our jail, though, and Sheriff, our sheriff used the savings, because they were really before just overcrowded and, basically, just warehousing people. They took the money, the savings, by reducing the population jail to do reentry programs and therapeutic services in jail to get these people, when they do get released, more productive lives. So they've used the money in a good way. So I just want to say that. I think my time's about up.
Yeah,
And I'm like the judge. I can speak all day. So God bless. Appreciate your work.
A 15 minutes break?
Do we have time for questions?
No, I'm sorry.